Welcome to Old Guy Tech,
the OGT.TV recording studio.
Technology for the rest of us.
Hi, I'm Rob Charney. We're here today with Sheriff D'Agostini of El Dorado County, and this is a program that we're going to try to do at least twice a month. And John has been kind enough to come into our studios, and we're going to talk about some issues that are pressing with the Sheriff's Department, that are pressing with El Dorado County in general, and just impress that we want you to understand that there's some issues out there that you need to get involved with. So, John, once again, I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. So, hey, I know that we've got some topics that we really want to hit, and you and I talked a little bit before we started on this Forest Service order on the road closures.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about it and what's going on here?
Well, I first learned about it last week, and it's kind of very concerning to me because a couple months ago I had a meeting with the Forest Service, and I expressed my concerns over the road closures.
Right.
The road closures that are written into timber harvest sales.
Yep.
The road closures that are being considered with further evaluation of the travel management plan. All of those issues, and I made it perfectly clear that I don't want to see any more road closures in our national forest.
Yeah,
in the El
absolutely.
Dorado National Forest.
Yeah.
It opens it up to the cartels for their grows because there's nobody else around, so they have freedom to go wherever they want.
Never thought of that. Absolutely.
It's very confusing to families and generations that have been using those roads. Some of the rules that they've enacted, the one vehicle length rule, makes absolutely no sense to me. They're making criminals out of a normally law-abiding people.
Absolutely.
So I was very clear on that. And then just last week, and apparently this suit has been going on for quite some time, I was provided with a copy of an order from the Supreme Court, or Eastern District of California,
right.
Federal Court,
right.
Wherein ordering the Forest Service to close somewhat.
Yeah, right.
The Forest Service press release said that the order ordered them to close 42 miles or 42 roads,
right.
42 roads in the El Dorado National Forest, and that they had decided to do that, and they would do it for 1 year until the environmental impact statement is done, completed, and then they would open them back up in 2013.
Right.
Well, I have a problem with that.
Yeah. So do I.
This is not good. I'm doing all the research I can, trying to figure out a way that any loophole that we can find. And as I read the order didn't order Forest Service to close these roads for a year.
Right.
The order ordered the Forest Service to keep the roads closed while they were closed now,
right,
until the court gave an order on what to do. Basically, Forest Service, come back to me in 30 days and tell me how we're going to deal with this issue.
Exactly. And so their answer was, we're just going to keep the roads closed.
Yes.
Now, that's almost as bad as not having an answer at all. So they interpreted the court order that pretty much they can do whatever it is they want to do. They're coming out and saying that they're going to keep these roads closed until the environmental study is done. But the reality is, from what I've seen of these before, this could go on forever. I mean, this could be a permanent closure.
Well, absolutely. It could be. They say, well, we're going to do it in 2013. We'll open it. Well, what's to say they come back in 2013 and say, oh, you know what? We got 20 of these done. We're going to open up 20 and make us all feel good.
Yeah.
But 22 are still going to be closed.
Yep.
Again, to me, it's another bite. I'll put it out there already. I've already heard little rumors and whatnot that I'm not a team player. And I've been thinking about that because when I hear that, it kind of bothers me a little bit. But I'm not on their team.
No, that's right.
My team is the citizens of El Dorado County.
Right.
That's who I represent. That's who I work for. And everybody that I have talked to, I have not talked to one person that says, oh, this is a good thing.
Yeah.
Not one. Yet. Maybe I will. Eventually I will, maybe. But not one. And until I do, and the majority goes that way, and also to me, this is wrong. So I actually have a meeting tomorrow with the Forest Service. And I'm hoping that we can.
Who brought the suit? So is it, what is it? Center for Sierra
Nevada
Conservation at L. Okay, so we have a group of who knows where. Have you had an opportunity to look that group up?
I have not, Rob.
Well, that's
but
what I want to do.
I did research the judge.
Right.
that they shop, because federal court, you have the opportunity to kind of shop your judges.
Yep.
And this is the judge Carlton, who actually ruled back some years ago, if you remember, when the judge ruled that saying the Pledge of Allegiance with under God is unconstitutional. This is the same judge.
Okay. All right. Now that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, wow. So we need to do some research. We need to know who's behind this group. I bet it's and I've been, I'm not against anybody in the Bay Area, but it wouldn't surprise me if it isn't led by an attorney group somewhere in the Bay Area.
Well, it probably is. I mean, there's all kinds of environmental groups out there that are trying to do these and bring these kind of suits every day.
Right.
I think the right thing to do, and maybe this is a good time to lead into our next topic.
Okay.
Is for the people to get involved.
Right. Absolutely.
We're seeing a huge movement with the Tea Party. And a lot of other folks that are stepping up. They're vetting candidates. They're talking about it. They're getting involved. That's what it's going to take. Call your congressmen. Call your senators. Call your legislators, both state and federal. Get involved and let them know what you think about this kind of stuff.
You know what I find, and I've got a good friend who's an attorney. I've known him for years. We're good buddies. He inherited some firearms. You're going to like this. He's not a big gun guy. He inherited some firearms, and I was explaining to him some of the laws on what he was inheriting, and one of them was a gun that is not legal in the state of California. And he's looking over the laws. I said, go to DOJ's website and read these laws. And he said, oh my God, when did this happen? And I said, there's a good example of not paying attention and getting involved.
Absolutely.
And that's what happens. Too many of us are willing to sit back and not get involved with the elections, with who's being elected, what their positions are, and really, like you said, vetting them and spending time really getting to know who those people are out there. And I really hope we have some activism going on, not only in our county, not only in our state, but in the whole country. Absolutely. Because it's from the top down. We have so many problems. So your point about getting involved is exactly right on the money. You need to get involved. And yeah, I'm standing on my soapbox a little bit right now, but there are so many stupid laws out there that you just blindly don't worry about because you feel like it doesn't affect me. Watch it. It'll come back and get you.
Absolutely. I look at, where did we start this slide? I'll call it a slide away from our constitutional structure and values that we had as a nation.
Right.
And I've been doing a little research, and I've doing a lot of reading and whatnot when I have time.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think a lot of it can be traced to between Truman and Eisenhower. If you look at how campaigns were run and how people were elected and who they answered to and who they truly worked for, up until and including Truman, no matter what you thought of Harry Truman.
Right.
And then you look at how campaigns were run and how the things were done and who they answered to and how it worked in the House and the Senate and everything else. From Eisenhower on, it changed. During Truman, he was the last one to have the whistle stop campaign, right?
Mm-hmm,
he went from town to town and he talked to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, some people were appalled. Oh my gosh, he's using the presidential train and he's doing all that other stuff, campaigning on duty and whatnot.
Right.
But he was in front of the people, and the people were talking to him daily.
Right.
We've gotten away from that. Now you see these campaigns. But they're still in front of the people. But they're not listening to the people.
Yeah.
They're talking to the people.
Exactly.
They're not listening. And then when they get in there, and I mentioned earlier about the team. What team are you on? Well, you need to be on the team of your constituents, of the people that elected you, and being truly in tune with what's happening at home.
Yeah.
That's why part-time legislations make a lot of sense.
Yes. I just signed that petition that's going around. I don't have one here, but yeah, you got to do it. We got to go back to part-time legislation.
We got to get to these
crazy
grassroots campaign, and for these candidates to understand, or these elected officials to understand, and that's where we as the people need to be involved.
Right.
Talking to them, writing the letters. Gosh, we have email now.
Right.
You can email them.
I know.
I'm sure they don't get it, but their staffer does. And if their staffer says, hey, you know what? We got emails blowing up because of an issue in El Dorado National Forest.
Yep.
They're going to go, well, what is this?
Yeah. What is it all about?
Yes.
Yes. You know what? there's nothing better than a handwritten letter going out to these guys. But I know it takes a lot of effort and time for people to do that. So I understand that. Email works great. And the way most of these politicians are using their emails, they're using it as a poll. So in other words, if enough of you out there take an issue, let's say that we want to take a stance on this Forest Service policy here, and we email our legislators and we say, just a short sentence, we're against what's going on here, we don't believe it's the way to go. Instead of that small, two sentences to that politician, they poll it. They go for, against, for, against. They count it. Because the way most politicians work is, how many votes can I get? So it means votes, right? That's what it's all about for them, So yeah, absolutely. You got to get involved. You hit it right on the head. You got to get involved.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we all know too many people that just go, "Hey, it doesn't affect me." Well, again, I'm standing on my soapbox, but everything affects you. Every bill that's passed, every time they put a new law in. I had this little thing I tell some of the people. I've told Rico, I've told some of the others. They said, I think what we should do is for every bill that's signed and passed, you need to take 2 off the books.
That makes a lot of sense.
Doesn't it make a lot of sense?
Imagine that.
Because you can't keep adding all these laws that nobody pays attention to.
Regulation.
Yeah. How many criminals do you know that are in your jail that, well, hey, I've read all this legislation and I know what's going on here. You passed that law and I guess I can't be a bad guy anymore.
Right. No,
doesn't work that way, does it?
It doesn't work that way. But yeah, if you look at how things since, like I said, I think between Truman and Eisenhower and about that time, for the last 40 or 50 years, you could go to any bar, in any barber shop, in any beauty shop, in anywhere, and you could talk about sports, you could talk about sex,
right?
You could talk about anything, but you couldn't talk about politics because, oh my gosh, we might offend somebody. We start a fight. We need to be talking politics.
Yeah, we do.
In the grocery store, at the grocery aisle, at the gas pumps, at the barbershops, everywhere. We need to be involved.
Yeah, we do. We do, and we need to get the word out. And that's one of the beauties about what we're doing here, and you taking the time coming here is because we're getting the word out with cable, with internet. We're starting to get these messages out that are so important for all our residences in this county to really know what's going on. And to understand that what they do here in this county affects the whole state as well.
The nation. It could. Well, it's been said over and over again. A lot of other states watch to see what California does to see which direction they're going to go.
Right. And that
starts here.
That's sick. Oh God.
It starts here.
Yeah. It's really incredible. But I really hope that we get some activism going on and that we get some of our residents in our county to really get involved. And like you said, I think the Tea Party, love them or hate them, whatever your position, they're bringing the questions out that need to be brought out.
Absolutely, Rob. That's absolutely right. They're having the difficult conversations.
Yes.
They're asking the tough questions, like you said. They're vetting the candidates.
Right.
They're getting them in front of them so that they can hear out of their mouths, what does the Constitution mean to you? What does the Second Amendment mean to you? And specifically in El Dorado County, for Super, we got what 5 or 6 candidates in the District 3 race. We have 2 in District 1 and 2 in District 2.
Yeah.
They're asking them, what are your plans? What are your visions for El Dorado County? Rather than just going on the status quo and people burying their head in the sand, they're not. They're getting involved.
Yep.
But we need more.
We need more.
Everybody to do it.
The District 3 is really interesting. I've been trying to get a number of those candidates in here, and I've gotten a few. Because it's a wonderful opportunity for them to get their message out. Because too many people don't know. I've asked Brian Veerkamp to come in here, and I don't know enough about him to make a decision. And I have people every day asking me to endorse people. Well, because of my position right now, I'm not endorsing anybody. But once the primary is through, things may change because it's really important we get that out. So we're trying to give a tool to the people that wish to be politicians to get their message out so people can understand really in depth what they're all about. Because you don't generally know. I know so many people that they get, as the election comes, you get a little flyer from AARP and you get a little flyer from, whatever it may be, and it says, vote this person, and they take that into the poll, and that's how they vote. They haven't bothered to study anything themselves. Right. They vote the party line.
Or slates, yeah. They vote a certain
or a slate. Yep, that's paid for generally.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so it's kind of like, God, I can't believe you guys are doing this. But
I'll give credit to the candidate. If they're out there and they're meeting people and they're talking to the people and they're getting their name out there, that's part of the campaign process. But it's incumbent upon the voters to pay attention, not just what they read, not just what a flyer says, not just what this and that is. I mean, a perfect example was my race. If everybody would have believed what the flyers were saying that my opponent was putting out, I wouldn't have won. But they took the time, and I was out there obviously a lot. They took the time to get to know who was who and make their own educated decisions.
Your race was a perfect one about you getting out there and getting your message out to the people. And you were everywhere. And, you know, you got a little bit of heat for being in a couple of places, right?
People wanted to they wanted to find out who was going to be their sheriff.
Right.
And to this day, and I said it the other day, you know, if some of these groups that I got heat from want to talk to the sheriff, they're going to talk to the sheriff.
Right.
Some of them might not go alone.
Right.
I might bring a couple of deputies.
Absolutely.
But bottom line is, you know, they vote. Most of the people there vote, and they want to know, who am I voting for?
Right.
Who is this guy?
Right. And you weren't afraid to go talk to them.
No.
You know?
And I wasn't afraid to say exactly what I told that group is exactly what I told that group is exactly what I told the next group.
Right. Absolutely. And that's what that's what we need more in this county is that type of thing.
We can get there though, Rob.
Well,
we can get there.
We're going to keep working on it.
Absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely.
We're going to get this message out, and we're going to get there. We're going to really do that.
So what other stupid laws is coming down the pike right now?
Well, you know, I don't have the bills in front of me, but of course we've got a lot of anti-gun legislation coming down that's in front of all these Dumbo committees. I love it, and unfortunately, I can't tell you the numbers part and parcel, but I'll tell you two bills that are really funny. One's coming across, but that's a pro-gun bill that's saying if you have a CCW, you do not need to wait the 10 days to get your firearm. Well, right behind it, one of the anti-gun guys brought a bill in saying no matter what that first bill says, the second bill says you still have to wait 10 days. It's like,
okay,
oh my God, what's going on? I'm not kidding. This is the way these bills are written. These guys are fighting each other.
Oh yeah,
you know, and it's just crazy. So there's a lot going on. You know, I'm a big Second Amendment guy, a big supporter of your right to own firearms in California, and you know, I got buddies in Colorado and in Arizona that have anything that they want. They can have any kind. They go through the background checks. They do the licensing. They have full auto weapons. They go, oh, we're going to have a great time. We're going to go out and we're going to, and I'm sitting there going, I can't have that. It was like, I pick a carry gun. I wanted a new carry gun, and I'm going, God, I'd really love to have this gun. Well, guess what? It's not California legal. Because it doesn't have a magazine disconnect on it. Well, give me a freaking break.
Right.
So, like my buddy Tim Nugent says, I mean, it's just, these people are crazy, and they think I'm crazy, Yep. So, but so there's a lot of stuff going on in the whole county. How are we doing? How's our situation going on in law enforcement in El Dorado County? How are our crime rates? Are we having an effect? Are we lowering the rates? Are we seeing? Because you guys are out there all the time. I'm seeing more deputies out all the time. How's the community responding to you, and how is that going?
I'll start out with the crime rates. Property crimes are actually up. Well, the numbers are up. The last few weeks I've been, because every day I get the briefing sheet.
Sure.
And I go through those with a fine-tooth comb, and I look for trends, and I'm maybe more involved than I need to be, but I want to know what's happening out there.
Right.
The last few weeks I've seen a drop off, but property crimes by and large are up. The numbers are up. Violent crimes are down. Part 1 crimes are down, way down. I'm worried they're down so far because this is an anomaly. It's down too much at this point. There was I don't know if there was a commercial or a TV. What was it? It was on the news the other day. They had a news article, a news topic about property crimes were up 30% in El Dorado County up the Highway 50 corridor. That's false. That's absolutely false.
You mean the news?
It's false.
That said something that wasn't right?
that is absolutely false. It is up.
Yeah.
I think the numbers were up, and one spike was 17%, but not 30%. So, and we've put the message out there. They didn't redact it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I have the opportunity now to.
Yeah.
As far as the service levels, we did that. I think last time I was in here, I think I talked about the shift change.
Right.
It allowed us to field more robust shifts. My total policing philosophy, our vision statement of the sheriff's office is slowly but surely being ingrained. they like it. They've embraced it. Now it's taking time to change the culture and truly practice it.
Right.
And that is the total care for victims, witnesses in the community, total enforcement on crime and criminals, and total professionalism. So it's exciting. The feedback I get from the community, and I hope that people are being honest with me. If somebody's got an issue, please call me. I want to know, because if you don't call me and let me know, I don't
You
know.
don't know. Right.
For the most part, 95% of the people I talk to say, "Wow," just like you just said, I'm seeing more deputies. The deputy waved at me. Gee, I saw a deputy walking around town center the other day. I saw a deputy driving through out in our rural area. I haven't seen a deputy twice in 20 years.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So to me, that feels really good to hear that.
Yeah.
And it lets me know that okay, we're moving in the right direction, and things are working.
Right.
Budget wise, all I've asked for since the last budget cycle was just give me what I got last year.
Right.
I'm not asking for one penny more.
Right. That's what you said.
And I got my wish. The CAO recommended to the Board of Supervisors that a status quo budget countywide. So I'm very, very happy with that. It's actually about almost $1 million cut. It's a $997,000 cut because of increased salaries, benefits, insurance costs, decreases in some state and federal revenues. It's about $1 million cut, but that's fine. I knew that when I was asking for it. Just give me what I got last year. I'll make it work. We're looking at a lot of new ways of doing business. We've changed the court security model. It's going to save the taxpayers about $250,000 a year, rather than having sworn deputies at all of the court perimeter security.
The screening areas.
The screening area and all that.
Yeah.
We created a new position. It's called a Sheriff Security Officer. They're non-sworn. And they will be providing that service and doing a very, very good job at it.
Wow. So will they be part of the department, but different?
They look exactly like a sheriff's deputy.
Yeah.
They wear a sheriff's deputy's uniform, except their badges and their patches say Sheriff Security.
Security.
So it's a little bit level.
Are they armed?
They are armed. They are armed.
I might need a job.
Yeah.
If this thing doesn't work out, I'll be coming to visit you.
So I mean, and we ended up cutting over almost $1 million off the overtime, and we're always looking for ways of shaving overtime.
Right.
I was blessed and had a heck of an opportunity for many promotions. At the end of this last December, we had some retirements.
Right.
And I had been holding a couple promotions. So I was able to go through, and we promoted 2 captains, 4 lieutenants, and 3 sergeants.
Wow.
We had the ceremony just a week or two ago. It was a very, very neat thing. It was the first time, I didn't know this, but it was the first time it's ever been done in El Dorado County Sheriff's Office to actually have a promotional ceremony.
If that ever happens again, call us. We want to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We put it out on the it was in the Democrat and a couple other news, but I'll remember you.
Yeah. That'd be great.
But it has, with these promotions, we're still saving money, filling the positions. We did reduce the sergeant's ranks. That was one rank that I looked at and thought, we're a little fat here. We don't need that many. So we've reduced that by 2 positions.
Now, was that through attrition?
It was through attrition.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was through attrition. So those were, I could have promoted 5 sergeants. I didn't. I only promoted 3. So we're leaving 2 vacant. We're going to convert one of those positions to a deputy, where we need the body.
Right.
So we're looking at every way we can to save money, to streamline, to provide a better service with less. At some point in time, I can't say that we're doing more with less. I've been trying to say that, and I've said it a few times. We're doing more with less. We're doing more with less. We're working smarter, not harder. I should say, because if the money, we're right now. We're there with budget wise. We're there. We're coming in at this budget cycle within 0.5%.
Wow.
On a $54 million budget. That's significant.
That is. It is.
So we're doing very, very well in that respect. With next year's budget cutting another $1 million out of it, we're going to be, again, it's very, very tight. But literally, if the economy doesn't continue on the path it's going, and I don't want to see it spike like it did. I don't think we need that.
Right.
If we just stay where we are and things continue the way they're going, we're going to be in good shape. and I'm very confident of that. I feel really good about that. We won't have to lose any services. But if it comes to that point, and we do, we'll drop back 10 and punt.
Yep.
We'll figure out what's the most important services that we provide.
Your team is great at making those decisions.
Yep. Well, I do, and that you're absolutely right.
Yep.
It's not me. It's my
Your
team. I have
right.
a fantastic team.
You do. You really do. Hey, I'm a car guy. How's the car situation going?
The what?
You guys figured out which squad cars you want to get?
Well, as a matter of fact, we just had the new Fords up yesterday.
Yeah?
What is it, based on the
Was
Taurus?
Yeah, the Taurus.
Based on the Taurus, and then the Explorer.
Yeah.
The Pursuit-rated Explorer.
Right.
I drove the Taurus. I had 10 minutes between meetings, and
you just jumped in real quick.
The captain actually said, "Sheriff, take it for a ride, and that is very impressive.
Is it?
Very, very impressive. There's still some issues that I'm concerned about. It was brought up at a state sheriff's meeting, talking with some other sheriffs, that these new styles of cars, they're so technical. I mean, everything is fly-by-wire. I mean, they don't even have a steering column rod anymore that goes down to a steering box. It's all digital. It's all electronic.
Right.
And they're running everything so efficiently and so technically and perfect that any little thing can go wrong.
Yeah.
And that bugs me. I'm a V8 carburetor.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you.
Whatever kind of guy.
And you're throwing a lot of electronics into that car.
Oh, man, our fleet department says it's okay. We're going to be okay with it. They're tested. They're proven. There's a reason for it. So, and then one other issue that I'm a little concerned about is the curb weight versus the GVWR of the vehicle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we put all of our equipment on this vehicle,
you're going to max that baby out,
and we
aren't you?
put a deputy inside, we're going to be right there. And that's one thing. We're checking on it. Ford says that's not going to be an issue. We're going to be able to deal with that, no problem.
Right.
They're
working. They're making a car exclusively for law enforcement. I understand this Taurus is that, isn't it?
Pretty much. I mean, much like a little bit more than the police interceptor package was on the Crown Vic.
Right.
There's a little bit more as far as this is a police package special. As far as I think the horsepower is more. The V6 turbo V6, that thing is amazing.
Right.
The stability control. I mean, I drove it yesterday, and I tried to break it loose. It wouldn't go. Now I'm sure that if you took it to the edge, when it goes, it's gone.
Right. It's probably, yeah.
But I was very, very impressed. They say the mileage is going to be probably 15 to what did he say? 40 to 50% better than what we're getting. That's huge.
I believe that. I believe that.
Huge.
And with the price of fuel,
absolutely.
Oh man, if you can get that savings.
But the cost of the vehicle is another 30 to 40% more as well. What we're seeing.
That's a lot more.
Yeah, it is a lot more. We'll know. I mean, we were spoiled for the last few years because Ford knew that the Crown Vic was going away.
Right.
So the police interceptor package was going away. So it was dropping down. I think the last ones that Fleet bought were $24,000.
Oh, you won't find that anymore.
No, now they're talking 34 in there. So, but we'll see. GSA makes a good bid. Government contracts make a good bid with Ford and see what kind of
if you can tie into those. I worked a little bit in that government bidding situation. If you can get yourself in on those, you can get some pretty good deals.
Yeah.
But I know, because I think last time you and I talked also about that. I'm not a big fan of the Charger. I mean, I look at the Charger unit, the Dodge Charger. I know you like them. But
I do.
There's something about that car to me.
Everybody I talk to that has them, they like them. They say there's nothing wrong with the vehicle itself, but they're very limited on interior space.
Yes.
They said when you start putting your gear in there and everything, and then the passenger compartment in the back, by the time you put the screen in, it's very limited.
Yeah, you're lucky to jam two big guys back there. Yeah.
And that's a concern.
Yeah, it is. That's what I've seen, and it's interesting. This going, I get an opportunity to travel through most of the western states and see all the different cars that these guys have, and I know Oregon's really big on the Dodge Charger. I see them all the time with that one, but I don't know. It's interesting. I'm a Ford guy, so that's my problem. I really hope this Taurus thing works out, and I think a Pursuit-ready Explorer is incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. It handles, feels, and drives a lot like the Crown Victoria.
Isn't that amazing?
Believe it or not, it's very, very. It's a nice car. It's all-wheel drive. Both of them are all-wheel drive.
Yep.
That's attractive. one thing that I noticed, and I'm sure they'll figure it out because I know we're not going to be the only agency that has a complaint on it, but if you look down underneath that Explorer, there's an exhaust pipe that goes right underneath the cross member. Oh. And it's going to get wiped out.
Yeah.
It's going to disappear.
Yeah. They're going to have to move that.
They're going to have to move that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's going to bother us. Jeez, that's
interesting. But that's a little thing.
Well, I think, it's funny. I like this little crazy stuff. I know you guys are going, why is he talking about cars? Well, because I like cars and I think it's interesting.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's neat stuff. So I think that's neat. So we've covered quite a bit. Any hot button topics that we have to be aware of? We're going to do this again in 2 weeks. I was just wondering if there's anything that you think that's coming up that we might want to.
This Forest Service issue, Rob, is huge. I think that's a hot topic right now. We need to get on top of this because I think we're going to have a limited time for input and for the judge to reissue this order that he talks about in here. So if we can get people on that, and then this election cycle is just so important, folks. Yep. Be involved. Get to know your candidates. I don't care if you agree with me on what candidate I support.
Right.
But get to know them and know why you're voting for them.
Be involved.
Yes, sir.
And that's the biggest message. Well, I want to thank you. Hey, look, we did really good on time. We did that 30-minute deal, and I want to thank you again. And our goal, of course, is to do this twice a month, and we're going to try to talk about topics that you folks like. If there's something that you want to hear from John, email me or email John or call, and we'll make sure that we talk about it, because I'm sure there's things out there that people would like to hear about that you and I aren't covering. Because I think this is exciting. I think this is a great forum. People can get a hold of us and say, that there's a lot of people out there that are shy and would be shy to call you. And if once they knew you, they wouldn't be. But they're shy, and I understand that. So email me or call me or something, and we'll get it on the air.
Do we have? Are we stuck to 30 minutes?
No.
Can we go for a few more minutes?
Let's go. Let's go.
I got just one thing. This is what's the word I want? Oh, I can't remember. The sheriff's office. We started an organization called Thrive.
Right.
Did I talk to you about that?
Well, we did the 1035 Thrive, and as a matter of fact, your officer that you put in charge, we talked yesterday, and we're going to get together.
Good, yeah. Very good.
Yeah, we're going to get that moving forward.
Okay, I'd like to let the viewers know what that is about.
Okay, let's do it.
It was something that, as I was growing up in law enforcement and had a young family, there wasn't really anything there for the family, for the spouses and significant others,
right? For
the support group. The ones that I had to come home to every night and decompress with.
Right.
The ones that didn't understand when a cop comes home from work and they say, "How's your day?" "Fine." "Well, what happened?" "Nothing." It's terrible, but that's how we are.
Right.
So I always said if I was ever in a position, and now I am, to be able to do something like this, I would. And we did. My wife started it. She's the head of it. It was our vision. And it is a support group for wives, spouses, significant others of law enforcement, of the sheriff. I'm sorry, any employee of the sheriff's office family. Mm-hmm. They've hit the ground running. They have a great mission statement, a great vision statement. This will not be an LA Wives Club. There will not be a gossip club.
Right.
This is strictly for support. Somebody has a new baby. Somebody has a family tragedy. One of our employees gets hurt. One of our deputies gets hurt or killed, tragically killed, worst case scenario on the job. This group is there for them. Mm-hmm. It's there to help them through hard times, through good times, to celebrate with them, anything like that. It's a fantastic program. Like I said, it's off to a really, really good start. It's already starting to get some attention from some other agencies that are calling, saying, "Hey, what is this all about?"
Sure.
So we're very excited about it, and the reason I lead up into that is on April 27th at the American Legion Hall, they're having the first ever Thrive fundraiser. It's a Shapino feed, and if for any other information, they can call the sheriff's office and ask, and they'll give you a number to call.
Good.
But it's a...
let's make sure we get that information. We'll put it up on Old Guy Tech. Make sure that's there, too. Yeah, that'd be great. And one of the things that we talked about, of course, is that we wanted to introduce the spouses or significant others to the firearms issue, people that had never been involved with it. And John asked me to help out on this, and I got some great ideas. I think it's going to work out real well. So we're working.
Good.
We're working on that.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, John. Hey, thanks again. I appreciate it. This has been super. Hey, thank you out there for listening to us. Again, we're going to try to do this every 2 weeks. If you have a topic, give us a call. Get involved. Vote. All right? Thank you. See you next time. Hi, I'm Rob Charney, Old Guy Tech TV, and I'm here to talk to you today about Windfall and the El Dorado County Fair. The largest event of El Dorado County will soon be here. Don't miss this opportunity to promote and build your business by advertising in the 2012 El Dorado County Fair Guide, published exclusively by the Windfall. The El Dorado County Fair Association is very excited to partner with Windfall again this year. Last year was such a success, we are thrilled to work with them again. The exposure that the El Dorado County Fair has in our community is amazing. We don't want you to miss it. Jody W. Gray, CEO of El Dorado County Fair, just told us this. So distributed in the Windfall and El Dorado Hills Telegraph, June 8th, 2012, and available to the public at the welcome information booths at each entrance during the fair. This user-friendly guide features a map of the fairgrounds, event, vendor locations, and includes the schedule of events. Reservations are required, space is limited, circulation is 20,000 plus copies, and the deadline is 5/25/2012. So make sure you get your ad into the Windfall today. Tell them Rob sent you.